Well, Gen Z in the workplace, they have a lot of quirks and pet peeves. Obviously, they have older coworkers who don't quite understand them. Been there many a time myself. But I think this is really a nail in the coffin for Gen Z in the workplace. They refuse to hang out. They refuse to chill. There is a new debate about why Gen Z refuses to go out for post-work drinks. There is no excuse for this behavior.
So this one right here?
This TikTok went extremely viral, and it is from a millennial woman who has been in the corporate world. She has noticed that none of her Gen Z coworkers are down to clown after work. They're not going to go get post-work drinks, or they're not going to the holiday parties. They just don't care about getting to know anyone they work with. And she's not sure where this phenomenon came from. Let's listen in.
Here we go.
Guys, I need to vent for a second, and if you don't work in advertising in New York City, you could probably keep scrolling, but I just gotta say, I don't know if it's like I'm a millennial and the mindset has shifted, but it's like, why does nobody want to get fucked up for free anymore? I don't understand it. Like, do you guys remember
why
pre-COVID, like, I don't know, 2017, 2018, like advertising was at the peak, I feel, of like comped vendor events, like holiday parties, happy hours. Like there was so much shit to do for free, and I was making no money. I was an associate. I was like, I don't know, 23, whatever. I would go to everything. I was everywhere. I was like, if it's free, it's for me. Catch me there, and I'm fucking taking leftovers home. Like, why does nobody think like that anymore? Why is it pulling teeth just to get my team to come to a happy hour? Nobody under me wants to do anything fun. As soon as it's 5 o'clock, they're like, bye, see you never. What do you mean? Like, what do you literally mean? Like, why don't you want to get drunk for free? I don't understand. I don't understand. Am I missing something? Like, and not to even sound condescending, but like, I know how much you guys are making. Like, this is a free night out. You can't be like, and like, thank God I'm outgoing because I have to go to everything alone because no one on my team wants to do anything, literally. And it's just like, what happened? What happened to our industry? Is it dying? Or is just like Gen Z in a different mindset than like millennials were? Could someone let me know? I feel fucking insane. And I'm tired of like begging people to do things with me.
Maybe it's just her.
Maybe
like,
she's
just
the problem.
Maybe nobody wants to hang out with her.
After work. For free.
For free.
Free.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Having a whole line, like, if it's free, it's for me, is kind of a vibe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We have a 20 from Boosted Yogi. It's because alcohol prevents gains. Hashtag stay swole. I mean, I would like to think it was some reason like that, but I don't think that's the case. And I don't think it's just her industry. I don't think it's just her city. This is kind of a more universal trend.
The Gen Zers are smoking THC vape pens at home.
At work, not at home. Both at work and at home.
We're talking about after work right now.
And while driving.
They're going home and they're smoking THC vape pens, and this lady's whole like overbearing vibe is killing it for them. Like she's like, I can't. They're like, I can't be around her. She's too in my face.
I kind of love her. She's a Courtney that goes by the nickname Court. Which if you didn't
know. That's a different breed,
they're just a different breed, okay? But here's a comment from another millennial. As an elder millennial, I get this. What happened? I'm so sad about this. I made some of my best friends through work in my early 20s, and it just ain't the same. Socializing with your coworkers after hours is not a thing anymore. That is a dead trend. It doesn't happen now because Gen Z is not interested in socializing, period. Especially not socializing with people that they work with, which is bad for their careers and also for their their own personal development.
I've actually made that point here a lot of times where I'm like, I might be the worst networker in the history of the world.
It's a real skill.
Like I literally like when Styx Hexenhammer was on IRL, I like went down to the green for the first time in like a year and a half to shake his hand and say thanks for making great videos. I've always loved your content. Other than that,
and then you went like this.
And then and then I literally like you could see the stairs going up and I just like slid up the stairs and evaporated from the
You
room.
turned into a puddle.
I did.
And then the liquid Brett just kind of slinked up the stairs.
But,
Yeah.
you know, I never had a corporate office job before this, so I never went to corporate office Christmas parties nor hung out with workers from, you know, that I was coworkers with. But here, I mean,
This
hang out
is
with
an
people from
office job. It is not a corporate office job. So
I hang out with people from work.
I don't have experience doing what that girl has probably done for years, doing the normal
It's for
9
me.
to 5 thing with the holiday parties that are, you know, very tightly regulated.
She likely left off all of the cocaine and all. I mean,
No way.
It's advertising.
She is not
It's
on
advertising. She's going over and she's hanging out with the stock
cocaine.
bros.
I think the age of party drugs like that is kind of over.
I do not.
Because of fentanyl, like people
No.
are not really like
No, I think it's still
doing
there.
that. We have another 20 from Just 'Cause I'm Free. It's now confirmed Mary is an elf. She has a cup bigger than her entire head. Also, Brett could make an ugly Christmas sweater with mocha on it. I'd buy 2 of them.
That's actually not a bad idea.
This isn't bigger. Well, it's like taller than my head. Yeah, fair enough.
I do think that the cocaine is still flowing freely, especially if we're talking.
Is that what you sensed from her video?
I'm saying, like, if we're talking Wall Street and ad agencies, yes, I think there's still plenty of cocaine being used.
So Gen Z isn't interested in the
Yeah,
stimmies.
they're like, I
They
want.
only
No,
want
no, you know why? Because
their
they're doing the
pens.
Adderall in the morning and then the THC at night, so they don't need it.
Come up and then come down.
Yeah.
This tweet also went viral simultaneously as the TikTok. One said, I know Gen Z is often criticized for not being engaged in post-work drinks, but also, has anyone noticed that offices are increasingly barely having any junior staff at all? This person got so much backlash just for pointing this out and talking about Gen Z's weird quirks. They actually deactivated their account.
Damn.
But here's one response from a Gen Zer. I hate post-work drinks. We spend 8 hours of the day together. Why the F would I want to get to know my colleagues even more? I'm never putting a worker under me in a position where they're obligated to go out with coworkers.
You need to, you know, the speakers would say you have to reframe your language. It's not about making them obligated to. They get to.
Oh,
They
right.
get
It's a
the
mindset.
opportunity
It's a mindset.
to do so.
Another Gen Zer said, post-work drinks don't appeal to me at all.
Hold, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many is this? 4?
4.
Nice.
Let's go 5. I'd say that means we go out for drinks after work, but I don't drink.
Well, you've gone.
I've gone with when everybody
Yeah.
else goes out.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I do not understand this because a post-work drinks, like, that's fun to me. That's a blast.
We did go bowling on Saturday, me and Phil,
Yeah.
and bowling.
Like, that counts.
Yes,
You know,
that's-
hanging out with
that's-
coworkers outside
yes.
of work.
I mean, but Olivia literally like planned that with like Phil and his girlfriend, like.
But that's also, like, that's what women do best, you know?
She's like, we're going out
They're
on
bringing
Saturday.
people together.
Yeah.
This other Gen Z response said, post-work drinks don't appeal to me at all. WTF. I've been there for a whole day and you want me to stay even longer? No, I'm going home. You just sound like a whiner.
Yeah, it does.
You sound like a massive
Like,
crybaby.
even if that's how you feel, don't share it.
Like, oh, you want to go home so that you can curl up on the couch with your Stanley cup so you can doom scroll for 5 hours. Like, you're just not acting like an actual adult, like a functioning adult, if you cannot socialize with people that you spend, as they said, 8 hours a day with.
Yeah.
Like, not only is that networking, which is good for your career if you care about that, but it's also just good for your personal development. People used to meet spouses through work. That used to be a thing. Now, because of HR, not as often, but that used to be a thing. People meet friends through work, lifelong friends, connections that are useful to them for decades down the line, and that seems to be completely gone.
There also used to be, I mean, I don't know if it's connected, but instinctively I feel like there was also at one time back in the day, a greater connection between your personal identity and company you worked for, which
True.
isn't really a thing anymore.
True. That is another thing that they were pointing out is Gen Z is just exhausted with the fact that they have to have 5+ years of experience to even get an entry-level job at one of these places.
Yep.
So they, millennials have been noticing ever since they graduated college and entered the workforce, they have continued being the youngest people in their workplace for like a decade.
Yeah.
And Gen Z isn't really getting the same opportunity that they had to join the workforce and work with people who are, 10, 20 years their senior.
Yeah.
They're not getting the same chances. I will grant them that. Like that, I understand. But if you are in one of those jobs, use it to the fullest extent,
Yeah. I definitely would, if I would critique myself, at least as far as professionally, it's like I should be better at like networking and meeting other people and trying to build connections. I go to work, I go home, I go skate. I don't spend enough time doing that. I should be better.
Another Gen Zer responded, I don't even care about the age gaps. I just don't want to sit and drink with men who hate their wives and talk about work after work.
How would you know that they hate their wives if you haven't gone and had a drink with the people at work to know what their personality is like?
Yeah, exactly.
Though I do like the idea that she goes to this guy's cubicle and there's just a picture of his wife with like a big X through it.
No, it's a dartboard. It's a dartboard of his wife's face.
It's like those darts with like the suction cup on the end, and when he's at work, he just throws it like this repeatedly at her.
Yeah.
Because like the phone rings like 12 noon on the dot, and she goes like, "Remember to pick up the prescriptions on the way home."
Ugh, Diane.
Ugh, fuck you. I like that.
This is how I know that I am getting old. It happens to everyone. It's because I just don't understand Gen Z anymore. And I was born in 2000. I am Gen Z. I just don't understand these people. They are truly sick. Like
sick in the head.
Sick in the head. If you were born after like 2004, maybe, like you're just, something's not right with them. Like,
is that what you think that?
They really like there's some screws loose.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I don't have a lot of hope for these people.
I mean, a big part of it, I think, is like what we have learned increasingly is that the most basic of human interactions have now become like bones of contention. Things that used to kind of bring us together on the societal level now have to be long-winded debates on Twitter about. The joke was always SJWs don't human very well. Maybe the idea here is that Gen Zs don't human very well.
Yeah.
At least in the context of what we used to call normal human interaction. But and of course a lot of them probably are like, I wanna work remote anyways.
Right. I mean, that is kind of how that work remote culture thrived. People were addicted to rolling out of bed, staying in their pajamas, and then watching Netflix from 5 p.m. until midnight and doom scrolling TikTok. Like, it's just sad. It's sad.
I encourage everyone to don't be like me and don't isolate. Actually get to know people, and especially it is good advice all around to get to know and network with people that you're professionally involved with, because it can go a long way when you have to find another job. Perhaps somebody's moved on to another company. All of these things matter. So
Gen Z is just not capable of small talk. It seems like they're not capable of just basic common courtesies. I have noticed, it's actually not just Gen Z. I walk into a party gathering of some sort, and people of all generations don't seem capable of even shaking your hand and saying, hello, my name is, in 2024.
Do you got an example of like a setting where that's happened?
I can't say, but yes.
Like a specific situation, or just in general it happens?
Happened
okay.
multiple times, yeah. Like, you'll meet these people for the first time, or you'll, walk in, they don't know who you are, and they just can't be like, hello, nice to meet you. My name is so-and-so.
I will say that I've gone through periods of time where like, and again, you've made the critique that I tend to overanalyze my own social interactions anyway, where like for a couple weeks at a time, I'm just throwing L's left and right with every social interaction. And
You ebb and flow.
it's probably more so me overanalyzing it because it has more to do with my mental state at the time. But there are times where it's like even the social interactions that are just your typical niceties out in public, where a lot of the times, and Olivia will tell you this, like a lot of times I respond under my breath and think I say it louder than I did, and then people think I just ignored them.
Or that you're like
I
mumbling at them.
I respond in my head and then don't actually say anything.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well,
guys.
I have mentioned before, maybe a couple times, that I used to have quite a bit of social anxiety, and I grew out of it. I don't know if I even did anything that I could give advice on it. I just grew out of it over time.
Yeah.
But the easiest thing for me was just realizing that it's okay to make people uncomfortable. Like, you're worried about making other people uncomfortable more so than yourself. So, you know, if you say something that, if you say a joke that other people don't find funny, or like you mispronounce a word, or you're stumbling over your words or something, I mean, it's fine if you're making other people uncomfortable. So I just feel quite at ease now. Apparently the majority of Gen Z is just not in that space.
Well, that's good. That speaks to you, not to them.
I hope that they end up okay.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.